How to change the cutting blade on the Switch 1.0 clipper attachment. The first step is to make sure that the lever is fully in the down position. This is very important. If you forget to pull the lever down, this will require additional steps that I'll cover later in this video. Once the lever is fully in the down position, remove these two screws. Then remove this top blade. To remove the blade, press down on this middle piece and pull up on the blade. With the lever still in the down position, grab the other cutter blade. Align this slot onto the yoke and press down. It is okay to use a little bit of force to push down on the blade. Make sure that the cutting blade securely fits onto the yoke. Next, grab the top blade and align it with the two holes at the bottom. Hold the blade in place and reinsert the screws. Do not fully tighten down the screws. Leave them about 3/4 of the way tightened. Now, in order to properly set the blades, push the lever up. When setting your blades, make sure that the cutting blade does not come above the fixed blade. Ideally, you want a small gap between the cutting blade and the fixed blade. Once again, push the lever up, move the fixed blade until there is a small gap between it and the cutting blade. Hold down the fixed blade and tighten the screws. And that's how you swap the cutting blade on the Switch 1.0 clipper attachment. In the event that you forget to push the lever in the down position when swapping the blades, here's what will happen and the additional steps that you will have to take. Here's what happens when the lever is in the up position. When you remove these two screws, when the lever is in the up position and you try to remove the cutter blade, the entire yoke will come out. To fix this, detach the yoke from the cutting blade. Press down and pull it apart. When you're doing this, it's advised to wear gloves. This is simply lubricant from the manufacturer. Once the yoke is removed from the cutting blade, set this aside. Next, remove these two screws and disconnect this heat pipe. After you remove the heat pipe, the next step is to remove the lever. So we're going to unscrew this. Then we're going to slide off this piece. Now we're going to reattach this yoke onto these spring legs. This is a two-step process. If you look at the yoke, you'll see that there are two small holes, right here and right here. You're going to align these spring legs with these two holes. And you're also going to align this slot with this groove right here. The easiest way to do this is to get one spring leg in first and then get the other. I have one spring leg in. Once you have both spring legs in on each side, you're going to take this slot right here and align it with this groove. So you're going to press down and kind of push forward. Once you have the springs in and you have the groove lined up, press down. While still pressing down, we're going to grab this slider. Make sure that the slider is oriented the correct way. And we're going to push all the way up. So while still pushing up, we're going to grab the lever and reinsert this screw. When you're screwing this in, make sure that this goes into this slot. That's the purpose of making sure the lever is in the down position, so this yoke piece does not pop out. Now you can select whichever cutting blade you want and attach it onto the yoke. Place the cutting blade back onto the yoke and press down to secure it down. Now grab your top blade and reinsert these screws. And remember, only tighten them about 3/4 of the way. Now you can fully close the lever. Adjust the blades and remember to leave a small gap in between the cutting blade and the fixed blade. Hold down the fixed blade and tighten the screws. And the last step is to reinsert the heat pipe. The copper side should always be facing backwards. Reinsert the screws. Snap the clipper attachment back onto the power base, and you're good to go.